don't know what it should say, but I think what it does say.
Do you think a person should study to prove themselves worthy? And
yeah.
Worthy of what?
Worthy of living as holy as you can be, and worthy as living as God wants you to live.
Have you ever met a person that studied the Bible and they are worthy and holy and doing what God wants, living the way God wants them to live? Have you ever met anyone like that?
Yes.
Who?
Several. I know
Did you
people
follow
at church.
them home?
I know people at church, but I mean, I don't know if it came from studying the Bible necessarily, but I think that's part of listening to the Holy Spirit within you. I think it is, but I don't know.
I totally understand.
I'm asking questions about the whole, how everything fits.
I'm telling you, anyone who studied to prove themselves worthy would never be proven worthy. Right. Even when you wake up from within, you don't feel worthy. I don't feel worthy, and I don't feel unworthy. I just don't feel it. I'm just amazing.
Just being.
Yeah, just being. So I don't have a feeling of that yet. I know I'm blessed, and I know God loves me, and I know that it's His mercy that is making my life working through me like that, right? But I don't feel worthy of it, and because I can't figure out anything I did to make Him or cause Him to work through me, and so I don't feel either way.
I don't feel it's anything I did either.
Right, and so there's no such thing as really feeling worthy or unworthy. It's all made up. Somebody changed the Bible along the way. Down through the generation, the Bible has been changed. Maybe the original Bible, way back then, was right on, but it's not anymore. But you still could read it sometime, but just read it and put it away. Don't interpret it. You disagree with any of that?
I don't know the verse, but one of them is like all Scripture is word. I don't know the God breathed, but it says it's all worthy of study for Christian living and for revelation. I don't know. It's like 1 Timothy. I don't remember. Yeah.
What it says?
It says that it's God breathed and it's basically good for correction, reproof, and to basically speak with the individual who doesn't know.
But that will happen inside of you. It comes from within out. And once
I believe that too.
Yeah.
I believe that too. But I did disagree. That's one of the only things I ever disagree with you, because I have been following your videos.
Right.
And when you say
This your first time here?
Yes.
Oh, what's your name?
Lawrence.
Hey, Lawrence.
Yeah, how you doing?
Oh, well, sir.
Yeah.
So you disagree about what? The one thing.
About the Bible not being true.
I didn't say it wasn't true.
Well, being changed altered anything.
You don't believe, like, down through the years. How long the Bible been around? 2,000 years. Yeah, you don't think 2,000 years, from 2,000 years to now, the Bible hasn't been changed at all?
No.
Really?
I don't think anyone's capable of doing it because of who God is, because He left that for His children.
But the people that are rewriting the Bible are not of God. So why wouldn't they write things that are related to the culture?
I believe that everyone that has written it and has been able to be published, King James Version specifically. Right. I'm not sure about these. I don't read anything else.
Right.
But that, I'm certain that it's not been altered.
So you believe that the Bible is the same today as it was 2,000 years ago?
Jesus Christ, the same yesterday, today.
Not Jesus, but the Bible.
But yes, I do.
Amazing.
Yeah, I do.
And why do you believe that?
He told me.
Who told you?
God.
He did?
Yes.
He said, Lawrence, listen to me, buddy. The Bible's the same.
He told me it's all true. You just got to believe it.
Oh, man.
If you don't believe it, then you won't believe it. But
right.
If you believe it, then you believe it. So.
And how long have you been believing that?
For about 2.5 years.
And how did that change your life?
I'm here right now. I wouldn't be here.
But how long you say you've been believing that?
2.5 years.
Prior to listening to my video and coming here, how did that change your life?
Oh, prior to listening to your video about that?
Yeah. Yes.
What was that, about a week ago?
I don't know.
I mean, it was just telling you about it.
Just telling me?
Yeah, I'm just telling you it. What you
said.
Did
it change your life, though? Before listening to my video, you believe that the Bible was the same as it was 2,000 years ago, right?
Yeah, I did.
And how did that change your life or enhance your life by believing that?
Because I believe everything I read.
You do?
In it. Yeah.
Oh. And how did it enhance your life, though? How did it change your life?
By believing the Bible?
Uh-huh.
Because I'm here. I'm here right now. I agree with you as using the Bible to just read, but not God isn't the Bible.
Right.
You know, he's spoken about in the Bible, but he's not the Bible. So it's within you.
Right.
But the Bible is also
You just
true.
believe it's the same for all those years.
The King James Version, I believe. I don't know about the
Do you believe that too?
The King James Version.
Let him have the mic back. You believe the Bible is the same from how many years?
2,000.
2,000 years ago.
From King James Version has been the same for 400.
It's been the same for 400 years.
400 years.
And you don't believe that, even though people rewritten it, and all that, you don't think they made any mistakes, everything's still the same?
Yeah, because that whole stream of manuscripts that came from was from that earliest church ever in Antioch and everything. Now the other stream from Alexandria was the modern versions has been altered constantly and has a lot of, they change everything. They take out the lordship of Jesus Christ. They take out a lot of things. They change a lot of stuff in the modern versions. And they invented a manuscript that they used back in the 1800s that they changed. But that other stream of manuscripts, I don't think it's been changed. That's me.
So interesting to me. And I totally understand it, though, because I used to think that way, too. But let me ask, so how long have you been believing that the Bible is the same from 2,000 or 400 years?
Well, it's only been in English put together, the whole thing, for 400 years.
And how long have you been believing that the whole Bible is right?
Probably about 2 or 3 years.
Oh, okay. And how did the Bible change your life? How did it enhance your life to believe that?
Started waking me up inside my own spirit.
Waking you up to what?
Waking me up to myself and to God.
In what way?
I don't want to make it sound weird, but it seems like revelation from within me. It stirred something different. I started not hearing, but knowing. I just started knowing.
Knowing what?
Things. God exists. God's with me. God is calling me to change, to be born again, to be.
What do you mean He's calling you to change, to be born again? And
I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, no, you're saying it.
I think that's about it.
It's not a test.
I don't know.
You can relax, wife. I'm not going to yell at him. But how did you overcome your anger at that time too?
Yeah.
You forgave your mother?
Yeah.
You told her?
I haven't told her. I haven't told her, but
that's why your
I
wife
haven't
is
told
laughing.
her. I know she's laughing, but I don't.
Why haven't you told her?
I don't think she really screwed me up, but I'll tell you.
Who screwed you up then? It wasn't her.
I don't know that anybody screwed me up. I think I was just, and I think I came into the world in a fallen state. I mean, honestly, I just do.
Why?
And
Why would you come into the world in a fallen state? You hadn't done anything.
No, but I think we don't know God.
Why haven't you gone to your mother and forgiven her?
I haven't actually felt the need to forgive her. Maybe I should. I don't really feel resentment. I think in my mind I felt forgiveness toward her. But I don't know that.
So your mother didn't do anything while you were growing up that was wrong?
Well, I'm sure she did wrong. But
like what?
I can't think of it.
So she was perfect?
She did as best as she could, and I don't know that it was bad for me or her. I don't know. She'll disagree, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
But
ask the wife; she'll tell you.
Yeah.
What do you think about what he said? His mother did. He can't think of anything she did wrong.
being a mother, I did the best I could.
Right.
And I know that there's plenty that I could have done different. Hindsight's wonderful.
But that's why you're supposed to forgive, because they have done the best that they could do, and we don't have a right to hold that against anyone.
Right. And we don't have a right to judge them.
Right,
because,
go ahead.
Because they did presuming everyone does the best they can.
Right. Should he go and forgive her?
Absolutely.
For what?
For anything that she could have done differently.
And
we're all human.
Like stop trying to control him? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she tried to control him. See? And he allows her to control him?
She's a wonderful mother-in-law.
Does she allow him to control her?
No.
Not at all?
She does listen to him, and I think.
Does he allow her to control him at all?
No.
Not at all. Well, why did he do that in the past or something?
He probably
She's controlled him in the past.
He's tried.
I'm sorry?
He has tried to control her in the past.
She's
tried to control him.
Both. And he stopped letting her control him?
I think so.
Do you control him?
No.
You don't control him?
No.
He's laughing mighty hard.
I do try, but
you try, right?
I do try.
And so, are you and his mother in competition to control him?
No.
Or not? She like you?
I think so. I
Does
like
she
her.
like you? Oh, she does. You let her control you?
No.
Oh, you don't? And so, when you said you should go and forgive her, what should you forgive her for?
Well, I don't know that I should.
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay, how about your father?
He's dead.
Yeah, they killed him.
He was a great father, but yeah, it was.
The women killed the man first.
Yeah, I understand. Ask if I'm the head of my wife. I asked her, "Am I the head of you?"
And what she said?
She said, so, no, she answered.
She said, "Are you the head of your wife?"
No, I'm gonna say no. I'm too beta.
So then you need to forgive your mother so you can overcome being a beta. Yeah. Is he the head of you?
I feel like we're partners.
Oh, you got gay? What does that mean to be partners?
Well, I like to think that each of us listens to the other one.
You like to think that, but reality is what? Reality is what? This is so good. Reality is what?
That I tell him what, that each of us tells the other what we would like to see the other do, and we try to be respectful of that.
So he does what you tell him to do?
At times. And at times, I think he listens to me.
She doesn't tell me to do anything.
She just roll her eyes and you know what to do.
No, she doesn't really. She just...
I try to be respectful of him. I try to listen to
what would happen if he became the head of you?
I'm not sure.
You beat him up. What would happen if you became the head of your wife?
It would all be bliss, right?
It would be. It really would be.
It would be fantastic.
And so why don't you become the head of your wife?
Okay.
But you got to get over your mother now.
Okay.
Because until that happens, you're married to your mother.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I've heard. I mean, I hear it. I've wondered about it. I don't know.
All right. Well,
I just don't know if I don't blame my mother for anything, and I don't think she.
Well, she is. The parents are to blame until you become an adult, and then it's your responsibility to overcome it.
Sure.
Yeah, because they spend 18 years of our lives screwing us up, and we spend the rest of our life overcoming.
She'd be mad if I went and forgave her. She'd say, "What do you mean forgive you? I didn't do anything."
Well, why would she be mad then?
Because she would think, "Why? You think I screwed you up?" And I would say, "No, not really. I don't think she screwed me up."
Oh, okay.
I don't
why
think
would
so.
if she is this perfect mother, if you came and said, "I'm sorry for being angry at you," for whatever reason, she wouldn't get mad even if you were right or wrong.
Yeah, she may not. She wouldn't be mad if if I asked for forgiveness.
Not ask, but to forgive her.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
Well, just wait and see. I don't want to force anything on you because it wouldn't be yours if I made you see something. Just suffer, and y'all, and hold on to the partner relationship. All right. Real good, though, man. Real good. I saw the young lady way in the back, but really good. If you have more questions, let me know. All right. Yes, ma'am.
Jesse, so you said there's either the children of the lie or the children of God.
Right.
No in between.
Right.
So I'm going to speak for myself. Where would I be if I'm trying to wake up and I have had moments like when I do the silent prayer over and over, and then I feel like, whoa, this is great, I'm waking up. And then like like you were saying, I kind of went from like doing the silent prayer a lot and feeling wonderful, and then slowing down and not doing it, and then going back to being a child of the devil. And
A child of what?
of the devil, of
Satan's daughter.
of Satan's daughter. So what does that make
Did
me?
you know you're married to Satan's daughter? Sometimes.
So what does that make us? If there is no in between, but we are waking up, isn't that means that we're in the middle somewhere?
No, you're trying to ride two horses. It's the same thing I told Cheryl. Once you wake up, you start to grow. You know, like a baby, when a baby is first born, the baby rely on the mother, and then the baby start crawling and looking around. The baby may fall. If you don't overreact, the baby will laugh about it, or even if it start crying and you don't pay attention, it'll just crawl around again. Then it'll try to walk. Well, likewise, the real you is growing. And so if you find yourself, and I'm glad we're talking about this, if you find yourself falling back, you feel like, oh, it's not working, I'm stuck. It's only because you were not aware enough and you believed into a thought. And that's all. And so now that you're awake, just realize everything is the same. Nothing changed. And you just drifted into your head and relax and it'll pass. That's why God said, bring every thought into captivity, right? So you're just growing. Don't let him make you make a big deal out of it. He'll tell you you're falling back, it's not working, you're in a gray area, all lies. Because it's weird how Satan will give you thoughts and then he'll start feeding on that so that you can judge yourself. But it's not true. Just relax and live.
So while we're in that growing stage, are we now children of God?
Yeah, otherwise you wouldn't be in the growing stage.
Okay. So when I do sin, that doesn't make me a child of Satan.
And what is sin?
Anger, judgment.
So, like when you hate your husband or something?
When I judge him, yes.
Yeah. You are, like being tempted to go back into that. But if you can see it right away as you see it, and apologize, hey, I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I
do see it
and
now.
You'll be done.
I do see it. I see it. If it's not within the hour, it's probably the next day.
Don't make a big deal out of it. So let's say you come home, you're at home cooking dinner, things all ready, and then your husband come in late. And right away he said, oh, look at him, he been out smoking pot. And then you hate for him to smoke pot. He come in all smell like pot. Go in the bathroom and spray comes along. I'm trying to hide it, but you already smell the pot while you're walking by. And you can see it in his eye. He's been smoking pot. And all of a sudden, he's all nice to you. Hey, honey, is dinner ready? And you're like, no, get out of here. Don't do that. Be patient with him. All right? But if you should get angry because you didn't realize Satan was feeding your mind, well, not your mind, but you, and you fall into it, be quick to apologize. As soon as you see it, hey, I'm wrong, honey. I'm sorry. And then it'll be fine. But if you don't admit you're wrong and apologize for it, because I know people who will not apologize. They'll be wrong and they'll sit on it like a chicken sitting on an egg. But be quick to apologize, because now you're waking up and eventually it'll be far away from you. It's not a big deal. That make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So do you ever go to bed mad at your husband still?
Not yesterday, not today, not last week. Last week I did, but not
yesterday. I knew it had to be close.
After the women's meeting.
Oh yeah. We did talk about that.
Yeah, it was wonderful. At the women's meeting, I had a revelation, like God revealed something new to me through you.
Yes.
And something really amazing happened. When we left, Victoria and I stayed out there and talked for a little bit, and I had my Bible in my purse, and I just brought it out for some reason. I don't know why, and I just opened it, Jesse, and I mean, she's my witness. I read this paragraph that I had, I don't know when, kind of highlighted, and
Yes.
it said, those who call themselves by my name should humble themselves and pray.
That's why I tell you to stay in the prayer, because he wants you praying without ceasing.
Yeah.
You should be aware of him at all times.
And that was the perfect message for both of us, because we both were not
Don't
praying.
go to never, listen folks, never, ever, 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 but never, 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 ever, Mamma Mia ever, Si Senor ever, Hola ever, go to bed with anger. Never go to bed with anger. I'm telling you, it's the worst, one of the worst mistakes you can make, because before you go to bed, you're arguing, but it's not a real big deal. When you wake up, it's worse. Now it's just worse because your mind is being clouded. So never go to bed with anger. Always apologize. Even if the person is wrong for what they are doing or have done, you say, hey, I'm wrong for being mad at you. I'm sorry. Because that way you don't go to bed with that dark mind, because Satan would play on you in your sleep. Have you ever been mad, gone to bed mad, and you wake up the next day and it's even worse?
Yes.
Yeah. Do not, I think God said, the Bible said don't go to sleep with anger, right? Never do that. Because he will pile on, and now your husband wake up and he just want a cup of coffee. I'm going into the kitchen to get some coffee, honey. You want some? No, I don't like coffee. But we had some the other day. Not now. Have you ever noticed that?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so even if you're mad at him for smoking a pot and you're feeling all this anger, right? Just say, hey, I'm sorry for being mad. Because the problem is not him smoking a pot. The problem is you being angry about it. That's what the real deal is. That makes sense?
Yes.
So ladies, two things. Stop trying to fix your man and your children, and don't go to bed angry. All right? And men. And come to the couple seminar.
Yes.
We're having a couple seminar. When is it? It's going to be amazing, April 6th. Whether you're dating, engaged, or married, make sure you come. But don't go to bed, guys. Do not go to bed angry. I don't care, because like when you're mad, your ego is all in the way. And the last thing you want to admit that you're wrong. That's the last thing you want to do. Because Satan is saying to you, well, if you tell them you're wrong, if you apologize, they're going to think they have the upper hand. They're going to think that they won this or that. It's all lies again. It's just more lies. It doesn't matter how they take it, apologize. All right? And stop being mad at your husband about the pot. If he smoke pot. He doesn't smoke pot. You don't smoke pot, right? Let him have the mic. Just to be clear.
No.
What does it feel like when your wife, you come home and she's mad? What's that like for you?
It just makes things awkward when they shouldn't be. And when we look back at the many years we've been together, so much wasted time. But since we've come here, she's catching it.
Yeah.
I catch myself. And things have improved dramatically.
So it still feel a little weird when you walk in and she's mad about nothing?
Yeah, it's the terrible feeling.
Why don't you just go to bed and leave her mad?
I've done that. I do that. I've done
you
that.
Look at her and she's all mad. Oh, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
And then she'll suffer more.
Yeah, that's... Yeah. You know what?
Is that right? Shouldn't he leave you mad at night?
Yeah, sure. But I'm not going to be mad anymore, so.
Right on.
Peace is getting closer and closer.
Yeah,
Perfect
and
peace.
once you forgive your mother, everything
Oh,
will
I can't
improve,
wait.
because you got to be the head of your wife, or you should be. And right now, you're not the head of her.
Yeah. And I'm telling people because I believe in it, but I have to do it first before I can tell
That's
anybody anything.
right. Because you don't even know if it's true or not, if it works, until you forgive, so you can wake up and see for yourself. It's not enough to just repeat what I say. You got to know that you know that you know. So when you do tell people about it, they'll see something in you. They'll see the God in
Don't
you.
talk about it, be about it.
Be about it. You got to be it. You absolutely have to be it. It's not enough to just talk about it. It's like quoting the Bible. You got to be it, and you can become a son of God. All right? Yes, sir. And then James.
So I'm just curious. So my stepfather was Irish Catholic, very successful, alpha male, head of the house, all that stuff.
Was he head of his wife?
Well, I'm going to ask you that question. So he would drink a lot, but he never missed a day of work ever. Very hard working guy, very successful. And a couple of times, he would get violent with my mom. Put her in the hospital twice. I told her to go to the police. She refused. She said, no, he can do that. He's head of the house. Is that okay?
She said, no, he can beat me?
Yeah.
You told Harpo to beat me. All my life, I've been beat by men. My daddy, my brothers, my uncles. I'm like, why are these men beating her? She would really have a loud mouth. First of all, why do you call him an alpha male if he beat your mother, he's drinking, and all that? Why do you say he's alpha male?
Well, because he did work hard. He went to church, all the Irish Catholic stuff.
But that's not a sign of an alpha male.
Okay.
An alpha male would have perfect love, meaning patient at all times. He would not be beating his wife. He would not be sending her to the hospital. He would not be drinking.
Okay.
So he's not an alpha male based on that information. Just because he go to work doesn't mean he's an alpha male. That makes sense?
Yeah, it does.
And so your question is what?
I was just trying to clarify that.
Yeah. Is he still living?
He is.
He's still with your mother?
No, they got divorced finally.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, he's not an alpha male. Real men don't need to beat their wives because the love that's in them is stronger than a physical whatever. Yeah. James. James is back, y'all. Yeah. Did y'all hear what happened to him? He's from the Hate Report. Yeah, it's back. He hurt his back some years ago playing soccer. He used to play soccer all the time. So he hurt his back, and then he got it well. And then the other day, you say you were leading to pick up something? Oh, he was coming into the studio, right?
Yeah.
And you were trying to crawl under the camera.
Yeah, and then as I was getting up, I extended it.
Oh.
So I heard it playing soccer, and then I heard it doing nothing.
Is it hurting now?
No, I'll be okay.
He's so pitiful. I'm like, James, how you feeling? He's doing fine, really. Oh, I'm all right. You want people to feel sorry for him. But he's a little stiff, but not sore, right?
Right.
Okay.
So a lot of super chats and donations.
Oh, thank you very much, folks.
Canadian McGee says, since people are not supposed to die, why do you say people are supposed to stay married until death do them part?
That's what I hear all them say at the wedding. And plus, most people are expecting to die anyway. How many here are expecting to die? See, everybody's expecting to die. So they're going to be dying. That's why I said.
While Going Up asks, is there a difference between speaking the truth and judging? As long as I'm not angry and don't hold on to the truth, is that not judgment?
I don't understand the question.
What's the difference between speaking the truth and judging?
Oh, judging is when you feel something about the situation. If you feel something about the situation, it's only because you're judging. Really. Otherwise, you can't even feel anything about the situation. So, for example, if the wife came home mad, and if you didn't judge her, it would be nothing to you. You would walk in and she'd be rolling her eyes. It wouldn't move you at all. But only because you get mad at her, you judge her for being angry. Like, oh, she's mad again. But so that's the difference. One thing about it too, once you enter the kingdom of heaven within, eventually you're not going to feel anything about anybody or anything. You're just going to be. You're going to just be. God created man, breathed into him, and he became a living being. That's all we have to be now. Everything is taken care of. It's amazing, huh? Just be, but you got to stop believing the lie. Yes, James.
Okay, two last quick ones. Why do people say that Jesus was black? Since he was Middle Eastern, shouldn't he be tan or brown?
because everybody in a fallen state want to feel better than the next person. It would be nice if you're in a fallen state, you find out Jesus had an afro and he was black. Wouldn't that feel good, black people? It feels like you're better than the white man. And then white people believe he's white, those that believe that, because they feel better than the black man. And then the Jewish people don't care. No. Jewish people, liberal Jews don't care, but the conservative Jews believe what they believe. I don't really know what they believe, but they believe that he exists, at least that God exists. I don't know what they think about Jesus. But only because in that fallen state, you gotta feel like you're better than somebody. It's all ego, and so you find something to believe in so you can feel better about yourself. And as far as Jesus being black, I seriously doubt it.
On Periscope, PR Mom for Trump asks, should parents forgive their kids too?
But their kids haven't done anything to them. But they should if they're mad at them. But the only reason parents would be mad at children because you screw your kids up and now you can see yourself in them but don't want to admit it. I don't know. I mean, you shouldn't hate them, that's for sure. So yeah, forgive them. You should never have, parents are not supposed to have anger anyway. It's abnormal for parents to have anger. We're supposed to be perfect so our kids will come up perfectly. And then a new generation will start. That's why everybody's suffering, because parents are angry and it's abnormal. They pass it on to the children. Anybody else? Did I see your hand, Trevor? Okay. Anybody else? Yes, sir, right here. That's a good question. Those are good questions, folks.
I wanted to speak about what he was talking about, liberalism and conservatism.
What I would recommend, do what y'all want if you want, right? I would recommend, I wouldn't look at it as liberals or conservative. I see it as good or evil.
Exactly.
Because I know there are people in the fallen state, they represent evil. Those who are waking up represent good. And then that way you see the reality of what's happening.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say it's not, like, no one is really, like, either like liberal or conservative. It's just either you're good or bad.
That's right. You're good or evil.
Because you could be liberal and then also be like, oh, well, they what do you call it? They're in a fallen state. They should overcome that, but you know, I could let them be in a fallen state. That could be liberal, you know.
But
and conservative is like,
you make a good point, man.
Get me? Like, I think everyone has the right, if they want to be in a fallen state, to be in a fallen state.
Stay there. That's
just
right.
like God says, suffer and die if you want to suffer and die.
Yeah.
But conservative is kind of like, another way I used to think about it was like, we're going to try to force like the Bible on you. We're going to, because you know, there's a lot of people who are out on the street. They're like, read the Bible, read the Bible, read the Bible.
Yeah.
Let them suffer and die, you know. They have the right to do that if they feel like.
Yeah, you don't have a right to try to change anyone. Yeah. You can't or should not impose the truth upon anyone.
Yeah. And another thing
God doesn't do that.
Another thing I was gonna say is about the Bible that we were talking about. You were saying how did your life change as soon as you knew what was right? Sometimes you know what's right, but the world, you know, you accept the world, you accept how things are, and you're just in that fallen state because you're like, the fallen state is the correct way. What God says is wrong, you know, and you start believing that and believing that and believing that.
Yeah. I have never met one person who read the Bible and know the Bible inside out, upside down, and they changed. They still sin, and then they make up excuses why they sin. Oh, no one is perfect. Everybody sins. Because that's Satan giving them that because he doesn't want them to know that they should not be believing in the Bible, only believe in God. And only look within. So he'll feed them all kind of information to hold them there.
A thing that I was thinking
God
is,
said, look within. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's within. It really is. And for me to tell you that I'm black and slow, I wouldn't know if you didn't tell me. I would not know. Really. Yes.
I was gonna say, like anyone could read the Bible, but it's until you accept the Bible and put it inside of you. Until you like are like, these aren't just words.
Accept the Bible and put it inside you?
Yeah.
How do you accept the Bible and put it in? There's nothing wrong with read the Bible. I'm not telling you not to read the Bible. But just read it, put it away. Don't listen to Satan interpreting the Bible for you. because He will interpret it for you. But how do you read the Bible and put it inside of you?
It's kind of like the word. It's like basically like you said, like a map. So just because you see the map doesn't mean you have to follow it. Just because you're like, oh, that's the right way to do it, and then you're like, nah, I'm not gonna do it.
But how do you read the Bible and put it inside of you?
You follow it.
Because a lot of people think that too, that you have to read it to put it in you. That's the only way you're gonna know the truth.
No, you don't have to read it, but like if you do read it, it doesn't matter.
How do you put it inside of you?
You accept it.
But how?
You just follow it.
And so it's like inside your head once you read it?
No, it's like it's inside of you. Like
I don't understand. So you think it just goes inside of you just by reading it?
Like for example, if you read it and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna read these words and they don't mean anything to me. Because a lot of atheists, they read the Bible and they're like, these words don't mean anything to me.
Right.
And then, but once you put it inside of you, you look within and you're like, oh, I can see how it's gonna change.
But you can't put it inside of you. Of ourselves, we can do nothing. Because if you can put it inside of you, what you're saying is that you make the choice to go to God. But God only draw those unto Him that He wants unto Him. You can't put it, it's already in you. It's already made flesh. It's a spirit. It's the spirit of God. So you can't put the spirit inside of you.
So you believe some people, like, they can't be saved. They cannot be, like there's a lot of people who, they don't believe the Bible. They don't believe, like, in God. Like the atheists.
They don't believe in God?
Yes.
Most of the people that don't believe in God have been traumatized.
Yes.
Either come from parents who didn't believe, or parents who carried on about the Bible or about God but didn't change. They weren't living examples. Most of the atheists are traumatized. That's why they don't believe.
But like what I heard was you don't have the choice to go on to God, right? Only
Right.
God can draw you in, right?
Yeah.
So that's saying that some people aren't drawn by God, right?
But that doesn't mean they can't or won't. They're just not ready to. They're not ready to admit that they're wrong, that they've been playing God. The sin is to play God. And anyone who judge, who has anger, which is all the same, are playing God. And so He's not going to let you in if you think you're God. That's what Satan did.
So some people, they're just going to continue playing God and they're never...
Some will, yeah. And some won't. And there's nothing you can do about it. All right? Good question. So I got any other thing? Anybody doubt any of this? It's all about we're fellowshipping. All right? We're just together, have fun. A doubter?
No, exactly.
Or disagreeer?
No. I just wanted to.
Oh, okay. What's your name?
Joseph.
This your first time?
Yeah, it's my first
Your
time.
name is Joseph?
Yes.
Wow, a Bible name.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's
Yeah, my middle
Peter?
name's David, so I got double dose.
Joseph David.
Pardon me?
What's your name?
Joseph.
And your name is David too?
Yeah, my middle name.
Right on.
Yeah.
I'm
So if it's cool
glad
with you,
came,
I'd like to throw on to something they said about the King James Bible earlier.
Oh.
We were talking about, it's really interesting how you said that, the Bible has been changed over the years, and so like you shouldn't take it so straight up as God's straight up word that you interpret it yourself and then you get thrown off track.
If you notice when you read the Bible, isn't it interpreted in your head?
Well, yeah, because you got to think
Whatever
about
you
what
read,
it means.
it's interpreted for you. That's not the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit's in your belly. He's not in your head.
Yeah. So going with what they said, they're like, well, the King James Bible, that's for sure like a good one.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know if a lot of people know this, and I could be wrong, but I did some research into it. Back in around that time, there was a Puritan movement, and they were scholars and really smart, brilliant people, and they created their own Bible called the Geneva Bible.
Yeah.
And it had actually more books of the Bible. They did like a study element to it, and basically what they were teaching and what they were going towards was not making God, the king or the government your leader, but really making God your head.
Right.
And King James was like, "Oh hell no!" So, or sorry for Melanie, she's like, "Oh heck no!" So
You said hell no?
I don't know what he said.
Millennial
It was probably like, "Oh,
cuss.
this won't do."
You know how millennial cuss? Do that, Joel? They call the radio show. They be cursing on the show.
Apologize for that. So
No
basically,
problem. I'm accustomed to
the
it now.
King James
You
Bible,
sin.
yeah. So so the
No,
King
yeah.
James Bible, he actually created that to rewrite and to basically put the emphasis back on the king and the government as your head. So, and this is something I didn't understand until I read about that. But then when you read the King James Bible, it kind of makes sense. So just to go along with what you said, like, why would the King James need to make a whole nother Bible? Well, it's because he wanted to make sure that what people were reading, what they were hearing, kind of put the focus back on the government and back on him.
Amazing.
So with what you're saying, I haven't read the Bible honestly in maybe a year or two, and I've had more amazing revelations and truths being realized to me from God just from life, from talking, to Trevor. You maybe hearing your video, and I'm like, and something resonates in you, and you're like, that's totally true. Yeah. And I think that's when God and the Holy Spirit is giving that revelation. So I was raised Christian. I have all that Bible knowledge in me, but a lot of the most amazing, powerful truths didn't come from me reading a Bible. It just came from God just showing me something. And I was like, whoa, that makes sense. So that was really just what I wanted.
I'm glad that God knew to put it inside of us, because he knew that human nature is weird, and it's going to change it. It's going to be based on how they feel, what they think, and not realizing that they're being influenced. But inside of us, it can't be changed. And we can't be deceived. Once you wake up, you can never be deceived again. And the world will deceive you. Even the preachers with the Bible will deceive you. It will happen. Very good, man. Any other questions for me?
So yeah, so I'm new to LA. I'm coming out here. God bless me with this awesome job.
You're from Texas?
From Missouri, actually.
Oh, okay.
So I've noticed this kind of awakening that that you're talking about. I've noticed it happening all over in different parts of the country.
Yeah.
And my question is, do you feel like there is an awakening movement out here in LA?
Yes.
Because
look around you. All the people from LA, I think.
I mean, like, not just in this room, but do you feel like there's a bunch of people that are waking up that are hungry for the truth? Because
they call the show all the time, which indicate that it is happening, and a lot of young people too, men and women. It's mind blowing, and I never imagined this would be happening. It just, I didn't know. But yes, sir.
Because honestly, one of the things that made me kind of hesitant to come out here before was, all the really selfish and absorbed and, you could say evil people that are out here all trying to get their own thing. And I'm like, I don't want to be around that. I want to be around people that are going to, help me be a better person or continue to inspire me and basically people who are really living the truth. And to see that happening out here is awesome.
It's mind-blowing, man. Because a lot of people don't think it can happen in California. It can. California needs children of God just like any other state. We can't keep running, So this belongs to us too. California belongs to us as well, not just the children of the light. They don't own California. You know what I'm saying? And so the beauty about it, the power that's in us is greater than those who screwed up California. So we can overcome it. That's for sure. Right on.
Thank you.
Are you still a beta male?
I know.
That means yes. When you go,
I'll be honest that I did a lot of forgiveness with my parents, especially my mom. But as sitting here, I'm like, I want to dig a little deeper and go back and do a little bit more. But no, God's taken me on my mass healing journey has been over the past 9 years.
Yeah.
So every day or every year, there's a little bit more. God's like, all right, you're not there yet, a little bit more. But I really believe being an alpha or beta, it's not a physical thing. It's a mindset. It's a way of thinking. It's a way of living.
What I recommend, I hope that you just live, man. Don't have any ideas about anything. Don't measure where you are, where you're not. Just be. You know how God said, consider the flowers and the bees or something like that. He take care of them. They don't even work. They're on the welfare. They don't work. And yet he take care of them. Likewise, being created in his image, he'll take care of you too. All he needs for you to do is just be so he can work through you.
Right on.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's such an easy way to live. Good, man. Mark.
So I believe what you were saying is that the Bible was edited to take away the things that say believe in God and not the government.
It was rewritten in such a way that would put more of a focus on
I'm going to have to find somebody that really knows
I've heard
history of the Bible.
opposite,
That'd be good to talk about on the show. To know really know it,
Like Jordan Peterson says that the Bible is a group of, 40 books? Something like this. But it actually has a narrative as well. In the Old Testament, it goes from order to corruption to chaos 6 times, the state of Israel. And then the New Testament comes, and we see that salvation is not in perfecting the state, but in perfecting the individual.
Yeah, but the thing I want everybody to know, it's inside of you, folks. The truth is there. God is with you. You will come to really know Jesus, too. You would know that he's with you. And it's amazing to really know that. It just won't be a conversation piece. You would know for yourself. You would know Jesus, and you would know he's your brother. and you would know that anytime you ask him or call upon him, he'll help you. It's so interesting. I used to be the same way, going to church or Baptist, not really knowing, but just repeating what I heard. But you can know for yourself that you know, but you got to admit you're wrong. You got to admit you're wrong. Anyone who has anger, you're wrong. And as soon as you admit it, the quicker you'll be free. Without any excuses at all. But I would love to interview somebody on the show about the Bible now.
Yeah, he says it's the story upon which Western civilization is founded upon.
Oh, okay.
So, like, I would say it's the opposite of government, and that the individual salvation is what Christians believe, what the Bible teaches.
If y'all know of an expert that you'd like to hear on the radio about it, let me know. Or let my producers know. And we'll get them on. That'll be a good conversation, I think. Right here, this your first time?
Yes, sir.
Oh, what's your name?
Fareed.
Fareed?
Fareed with the F.
Oh, how old are you, man?
27.
Amazing. Oh, you look younger. Welcome. You found us on YouTube, too?
Yes.
Great. Any questions about it?
6-7 months ago, something like that.
Oh, cool. You live in L.A.?
No, actually just here on vacation, and I just stopped by today.
Oh, good. Welcome.
A little underdressed, but yeah.
No, you're not underdressed. Look at Joel. You're overdressed. No. You have any questions for me?
No, I just been listening, and a lot of what you said just really makes sense and it resonates.
What when you first heard, or what was your first impression?
So when I first heard you, I think it was about the racism and just the state of affairs of like our country. That's when I first really started waking up a little bit to what you're talking about. And the Great White Hope, as you say, and all
Great
that.
White Hope.
Really.
Did you forgive your parents?
I have not actually forgiven.
Why not?
Kind of like what you were saying. I don't really.
You don't have any problem with your parents at all?
Not really.
Yeah, don't do it just because I said it. Okay. Only if you see it for yourself. If they can make you angry or irritate you or try to control you, you got to see it for yourself. Otherwise, it won't be a true repentance.
Right.
That makes sense?
Yes.
Any questions about anything?
No, I'm just loving everything you're saying. So
Are you
far.
beta?
I don't think so.
You think you're alpha?
I think so.
Right on. All right. Well, I'm glad to see you, man. How long gonna be in town?
I'm leaving on Tuesday.
Oh, okay. Right on. I gotta ask 2 questions because of right now. Anybody have any questions, comments, or disagreements? Anybody online, James? Oh, James, not there. Do you have any questions? Nothing. Why are you so quiet today?
Just I got in a little late, so I was just kind of chilling.
You got in late?
Look, yeah, the LA Marathon, I had to go way out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
To get here. Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you came anyway.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Did you have your hand more? Yes, sir.
Quick comment about the Bible. I noticed that all the power of Christians in the Bible happened before the Bible was written. That the first century Christians were the ones with the true power, and that was before they had a compilation of scriptures all written up for them.
Yeah.
The apostles would go to that town and convert people, and then they and those people had power, true power. In fact, one of the scriptures says, "I'm not coming to argue with you. I'm coming to see your power."
Yeah.
And Christians today,
such a good point.
centuries later, don't have that power.
That's right. That's why you're losing. Because you're not operating from that power, you're in a fallen state. But the power of love, which is of God's nature in us, is greater than the power of hate. It really is. And once you overcome that fallen state, you're going to see. It just works. You don't feel it. You don't taste it. You can't touch it. You really just live it. And it's amazing what's happening. And just give it a try. It really is true. But you got to overcome the nature of Satan. And you got to admit you're wrong. If you want that real power. You're absolutely right. So, I got my biblical question for this week that just went by was, is there anywhere else to go if we should lose our freedom in America? Is there anywhere else to go? White people, do y'all have any plans going on? I don't know about them. I realize the earth is flat. Are you going on the other side? And so there's nowhere else to go. Amazing. You say yes? You say yes? Oh, right here. Where is there to go?
Well, freedom, when you say lose freedom here,
Uh-huh.
What do you mean lose freedom?
You can't speak up. You can't carry guns anymore. You can't disagree. You can't do anything.
Oh, okay,
anything
like
right.
Legally.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I was just saying, you free already. You know, Jesus.
But if they take away all our rights, is there another part of the world that we can go to?
Oh, that we can go. Yeah, I was just gonna say I go anywhere in the world. I'm free.
No, I'm talking about.
But I didn't know that you were just saying take
Right.
away rights. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Is there anywhere to go now that you know?
I doubt I wouldn't go anywhere else. So.
Yeah. So we might as well fight back, right? Because there's nowhere else to go. It's not like we got another place. I think the white people going to the moon or something. Because I heard that Tesla sent his car up there. Didn't Tesla send a car to the moon out of space? See, white people playing this slick. They're not going to tell us. Save your money. See? They know. And so my biblical question for this week, I really want to know this. What is a white supremacist? Anybody ever heard that? White supremacist. Am I saying it right? So everybody heard it, right? So that means you know what it is, right? Right? Yeah, don't be afraid. We're fellowship and no right or wrong. I just want to know. Okay, can you tell me what it is? It's going to be my biblical question this week. What is a white supremacist?
It's someone who loves their country. So I was having a discussion with my mom, and that word came up, and I asked her, I said, "Do you know what a supremacist means?" And I looked it up for her, and she says, "Well, that's different from what I see or what people talk about." I said, "Exactly. Like, you're being shown something completely different." But it's just, I'm like, what if I said I'm a Mexican supremacist? She's like, "Well, it just sounds weird." I was like, "Well, it sounds weird. That's because you don't hear it often."
So you saying someone that loves their country?
Yeah, like their race.
Oh,
basically.
okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask the young lady right behind you. Have you heard the term white supremacist?
Yeah.
Did you believe it?
Well, usually it's used in a negative term.
Did you believe it? Did you fall for that word when you heard it?
It sounds bad, but
did
I don't know.
Did you believe it?
In the context they used it in, yeah, I was like.
You say you did believe it?
Yeah, when I heard it the first
you're
time.
You're safe here. You can be honest.
Yeah,
okay.
when I heard it the first time.
And so, what is a white in your mind? What is a white supremacist?
From what it sounds like it's someone that is intolerant to that thinks that their race is superior to other people's race.
Well, that's everybody. All fallen state races believe that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know
what it wondered about that? Why am I believing something I don't have any proof here?
Yeah, well, that was before. Now, when I hear it, I really don't know what it means. I hear it.
Have you ever seen one? Have you ever met a white person and say, "I'm a white supremacist"?
No.
And next time, if you ever run into this, ask them, what does that mean?
Okay.
If you run into one. All right. Do you know what it is? No, the young lady behind you. Hold on for the mic.
It sounds to me like someone who would believe that they are supreme, that they are superior over others.
And have you ever met someone like that?
I think so. I can't think of anyone in particular because I would distance myself from someone.
If they were a white supremacist?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because those aren't beliefs that I hold. I think that God sees us all as equal.
But that's not a reason to distance yourself, though. If you met a human being who believes that they're supreme to other human beings, that's the time to try to show them the light, let the light see you.
You're right.
You know, Christ went around with the prostitutes and everybody because he wanted them to see.
You're right.
Isn't that right?
And I'm trying to find my own courage to be able to speak up more.
Yeah.
And
let the
tell
anger
people
go, you will.
That I don't agree.
Yeah. If you let the anger go, you wouldn't even think of fear. It wouldn't be a part of you at all. You have anger?
I don't see myself as angry.
Do you have anger?
I at times.
Do you have anger?
Sometimes I'm angry. Sometimes.
So do you have anger?
Well, I guess that would be defined as anger. Okay.
I'm sorry?
I guess so, yeah.
You're not sure?
Well, like I said, I get angry sometimes, yes.
So do you have anger?
That would mean that I have anger.
Do you think anger go away at times and then it come back?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's always there. That spirit does not leave until God takes it away. So if you get angry sometimes, that means that you are an angry person. You are of anger. Does that make sense, or you disagree with that?
I don't want to accept that I'm angry.
Why not?
Because I don't want to be angry.
Right. That's why you should, if you have it, you should accept it, admit it, so you can overcome it. God will take it away from you. But if you don't admit it, because the ego doesn't want you to admit it, you're not going to get better. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Do you believe it's possible to be a Christian and have anger?
I think as a Christian, it's a constant journey to make yourself a better person, follow Christ, and to be more like Christ.
Do you believe you could be a Christian and have anger?
I believe you can, but I believe it would be something that you would be trying to work through.
And what is a Christian with anger? Aren't you glad you came?
You tell me, what is a Christian?
No, you're my guest. We're fellowshipping together. I want you to know for yourself. Well, you said that you could be a Christian and have anger. So you are a Christian, right?
Yes.
And you have anger, right?
I struggle with anger, yes.
So you do have anger? And so what is a Christian with anger? What does that look like? How can you be both?
I can't really answer that.
Have you ever thought about this before?
I have.
And what you come out with?
That I continue to pray and to try to be more, to follow Christ more, and
How long you been praying about this anger?
For a long time. But I don't pray about
how many years?
30.
30 years, and nothing has changed yet.
Little by little.
But you still have it. 30 years with all the prayer, read the Bible, being a Christian, you still have it, right?
A lot less often.
Yeah, but you still have it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the question should be what then? If you prayed about it, read the Bible about it, did all that, it should, shouldn't the question be something? What?
Maybe, Jesus, how do I release my anger?
Forgive. You can read the Bible until the cows come home. You can read the Bible until you're black and blue in the face. You can read the Bible and quote every scripture like you are the Bible. If you don't forgive, it doesn't work. That's why he didn't say go read the Bible. He said, if you have a problem with a person, go and forgive. He didn't say go and ask for forgiveness. And so I would love to see you free. So I would recommend whomever you're holding this anger against, go and forgive them. They can't help it. Then the anger will be taken away. And you can't change yourself. Only God can change you, because you are a spirit created in his image, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can read the Bible, it won't change. That make sense? Mm-hmm. You agree with that?
I do.
Yeah. So go and forgive, and then it would be as though you didn't waste 30 years of your life. Really, it'll be as though you never had a past. Because the people that you're angry at can't help themselves. Forgive your husband for being a beta. He can't help it. Look, he's a good guy. Look, he wants what's right. That's why he's here. But he can't help it right now. That makes sense? I can't hear you.
I said yes.
Oh, okay. Any questions or disagreement?
No.
Do you feel like you're on the spot right now?
Yes.
Oh, you do? No, you're not. You're my sister. You're
No,
all right? All right? You're not.
For default, you never send me the email. What's up?
Yeah, nothing. Yes, sir. Wait a minute.
You no get access.
Man, my time is up. Put the clock away, Jim. He got his phone. Look
Hi,
at
Jesse. So my question was, every time if someone cuts you off in the freeway or on the road, you forgive them?
once you forgive, you live a life like that. So you don't need to keep forgiving because you don't have the spirit of anger anymore. So you are as your Father is in heaven. You live a life of no anger. So there's nothing to forgive.
So what if someone punches you or spits in your face or does something to you to physically
knock them out?
You fight back, right? So you're using,
but
then you're
using
anger
I'm not gonna hate them.
But you're using that anger to fight back.
No.
So what do you do? Use love to fight back?
Love.
Why you're punching the guy or you're physically
because
fighting the
you
guy?
have a right to defend yourself. You just don't have a right to judge.
I have a hard time processing that because it's difficult to confront someone that's either physically offending you or fighting you, then to not feel angry, towards that.
That is so not true. As a matter of fact, if you really want to defend yourself, it's best to be alert, be aware. So when someone offends you, you see it's nobody there. It's not them. And if someone should hurt you, attack you, you can see how to knock them out.
Right.
And,
but then that still
because
makes you
otherwise
angry.
they can't. I was talking to a young lady.
I thought you also had access to the email.
I said, no, you need to be aware. That's why when you're on your way to the car,
you have to be at your laptop to do all that.